Though the Ukrainian war started between two countries, it has escalated into a long war between Russia against multiple nations supporting Ukraine. As Ukraine has succeeded in regaining Kherson from the Russian troops with their outstanding missile system, it seems that they're close to getting the upper hand with this war. Russian President Putin is losing the war after the American Deadliest GMLRS missiles arrived in Ukraine to flex their guns and regain more territory. But what is this missile, and how has it completely changed the landscape of the struggle in Eastern Europe?
Jungle.
The Deadly Missile, GMLRS. Considered as one of the most frightening missiles of the generation, the Guided Multiple Launch Rocket System, or GMLRS, is a ground system used to attack, neutralize, suppress, and destroy opponents using its precise system. Compared to ballistic rockets, rocket launcher munitions are more accurate with a higher probability of a kill, and have a smaller logistical footprint. The munitions for the GMLRS has 3 fielded variants that differ on purpose, with the first one being the Guided MLRS Unitary. This is a combat-proven variant that charges a unitary warhead that weighs 200 pounds at a point target with precise strike up to 70 kilometers in range. The second one is the Guided MLRS Alternative Warhead variant, which was the first munition ever developed to service area targets with low collateral damage, as it launches a 200-pound missile at a range exceeding 70 kilometers. The last one is the Extended Range Guided MLRS, which is a new developmental variation that offers an extended range of about 150 kilometers. This variant differs from the others in that its motor is larger and its maneuverability is enhanced. The rocket system is employed with the M270A1 multiple launch rocket system, as well as the M142 high-mobility artillery rocket system launchers, providing backup with warfighters as it has the ability to engage in both point and area targets with high precision. The GMLRS has a range of about 15 to 70 kilometers, with each launch container holding 6 rockets. With its persistence and responsiveness adding up to its qualities, it truly is a deadly weapon. An all-weather rocket system with long-range and high-precision target strikes is definitely something to look out for. America's pride. Dated way back wars ago, the GMLRS have been America's pride for good reasons. The artillery rocket system has been used since World War II and was at the verge of phasing out during the Korean War due to its extreme explosivity. The Pentagon, responsible for the United States Department of Defense, developed an improved and better system that they called the Multiple Launch Rocket System, which was a large, tank-like weapon that featured an innovative system. With the new system, rockets were fired from pre-loaded launch tubes called pods that could be easily discarded and replaced as one whole unit. In the older generations of launchers, warfighters had to manually reload their weapon with one rocket for every strike. Through this innovation, they were advantageous in terms of speed. Eventually, the Pentagon had to innovate a more brilliant weapon that is capable of overcoming its predecessor's flaws. And that was the Guided Multiple Launch Rocket System that caters a precise firing system. The Pentagon initially planned on creating 2 different weapons to overcome 2 different flaws that will replace their old weaponries. One that will have a more reliable bomblet, and another that will have a single explosive charge that has a longer range and a precise accuracy. The bomblet version, that they called M30, was phased out in 2013 as it was not fit for their standard, and they were left with the M31 rockets that had 200 pounds of explosives inside and a GPS signal to find its designated targets. The M31 rockets were considered the U.S. military's main long-range rocket weapon, measuring about 13 feet long and about 9 inches in diameter. These M31 rockets can be launched by the older M270 launchers, as well as the newer M142 HIMARS that are now being used by Ukraine as their defense and offense weapon. Both weaponries offer an explosive attack with precise airstrikes. Ukraine and U.S. tandem. The Pentagon said they have sent about 1,000 GMLRS to Ukraine, but it's a huge question mark on how many they have fired over the span of the war. With Ukraine catering soldiers who are experienced in using artillery rockets, they quickly mastered how to use the GMLRS. The warfighters were able to use the launchers to their maximum capacity as they quickly drove to their targets, strike and reload with speed, and fly out the zone before the Russian troops can position their artillery. With the American rockets having a greater range than Russia's military weapons, the Ukrainian soldiers have the advantage with surface-to-surface fights. They were able to target Russian arms depots and command posts while still being safely out of range. With swift movements from Ukraine's offense, Russian leaders had trouble with communicating to their troops, making their defense difficult to execute. Future of the war. The Ukraine-Russia war has been going on for 9 months now, and Ukraine is getting more and more of its supporting nations' help. With America's GMLRS, they were able to retake Kherson from Russia's hands, but they are taking this opportunity not to celebrate, but to build a newer plan to defend their eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. Despite this, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky still urges for a peace formula at G20, as he believes that every day lost equates to a lot of Ukrainian lives lost. President Putin did not attend the G20 and reasoned out that he was busy. But Zelensky still took his moment to say that Russia should withdraw its troops from their nation and pay the damages they have done. Amidst Russia's aggressive attacks, Zelensky still hopes that the leading nations continue to give support to Ukraine to achieve the peace they have all been dreaming of since February 2022. Conclusion. The GMLRS is only one of the many donated military weapons of different nations to Ukraine. NATO allies have been helpful to Ukraine's war with Russia with their weaponries that counters the aggression of the offense of Russian troops, and Ukraine is looking forward to more support in their fight. With nuclear threats and mass graves, they surely will need all the help they can get to win this war. What do you think about the GMLRS? Do you agree that it's a deadly weapon by the American military? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on to keep updated to contents like this. See you in my next video.